for in every season that Patrick Mahomes has been their quarterback. 23-14 for the Texans. A good year comes to a disappointing end.
I feel like we were the better team, you know what I'm saying? But we shot ourselves in the foot again. Like, we have to find some way to get over this hump of us making the same mistakes over and over and over. We can't have that if we want to beat teams like this.
We knew going into this game, man, it was us versus everybody, right? When I say everybody, it's everybody. The naysayers, the doubt, right? Everybody. With that, knowing going into this game what we were up against, we can't make the mistakes that we made.
You can never relax from last year to this year.
But that's a good football team. Phenomenal defense that they've got. And we knocked a little of the rust off, and we're humbled to be in that position.
So it doesn't always have to be an offensive explosion. It doesn't always have to be the defense locking it down. It's just who can find a way to get a win and how can we do that. And I think that's what makes us a special football team. We'll try to carry that into next week.
Again, he has been in the AFC Championship game in every season that he has been the starting quarterback, and we'll see he's now one win away from a shot at an unprecedented three-peat. And, Teddy, as you watch the Chiefs play, they remind me of your Patriot teams, which is they never do the things that get you beat, and that is a big part of winning postseason football.
And when you beat teams as often as they do, you get some teams thinking, like Will Anderson said, we are the better team, but then he says we just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. I don't think the Houston Texans understand how to win a football game like this. I think there's just a big difference in class of coaching staffs and in players here, and I recognize it right away. I mean, in terms of the opening kickoff, and then, it was Chris Boyd going absolutely ballistic because he thought he forced a fumble, him pushing his coach, and then the defense, yes, the defense is outstanding. Minus 15 yards from that, and they get the 3 and out. Maybe it's a tougher field goal to make. Those little things, they just don't understand. Will Anderson, you know that's Patrick Mahomes, right? If you give the officials any type of excuse to throw the flag, they will throw the flag. I played with a guy that, he had the same type of carte blanche / Jordan rules that Patrick Mahomes also has, all right? You're gonna get those calls, and you have to know how to win those type of games. To hear D'Amico Ryans afterwards talking about, everybody against us, of course he's talking about the officials. But when you lose a game and you're talking about officials, the Chiefs will just look at that and just understand that you never really understood how to beat us, because what Patrick said was exactly true. It doesn't matter what the game is. They know how to win the game they're in, not the game that they thought it would be. That's how good the Chiefs are.
And listen, there are 3 phases to football, right? We talk, obviously, a lot about offense, defense. Special teams matters. It was a special teams disaster for the Texans. Kansas City, Dave Toub, this unit has won games for them continually. I mean, from the opening kickoff, you basically donated them 3 points, right? You missed 2 field goals. You missed an extra point. I mean, that's 10 points right there alone, just in the kicking game, right? Outplayed. And this was a big factor. And this is playoff football, right? Like it is. Patriot teams that were so good on special teams, your margin of error is small. So for Will Anderson Jr., you played good on defense, but I mean, again, these details matter. Situational football matters. We saw the goal-to-go situation where Kareem Hunt runs it in, the 4th down, right? The Patrick on the 3rd down Superman throw, right? Like that was the difference in this game. And then again, Travis Kelce, right? The Chiefs had 200 yards offense. Right. I mean, Trav was more than half of that, right? And again, is he slowing down? He's not the same. The rest obviously did him a lot of good, and he looked unbelievable. And this was the crazy thing. In big-time moments, man-to-man situations, that's where Patrick was going. It was to him every time, and he delivered. Listen, I know how this building works. It's all about matchups, right? Know your personnel. And Patrick did yesterday, right, and it delivered.
I mean, the whole year I've been saying, look, they're vulnerable this year. They're vulnerable this year. This is not the same type of team, but it's the same championship medal type team. Like, it's crazy. 212 yards, and you go out and win the game by, it's crazy.
But isn't that the point that we began with, which is they don't, what they don't do is they don't beat themselves with mistakes, with bad sacks, or with turnovers.
No, absolutely. But 7 years in a row of this, it's crazy. So it matters. Now, look. Is there still some concerns? You're telling me that when I saw Patrick Mahomes and all that after the game, he was disappointed.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
You could say what you want. The guy, they had 212 yards. Yeah. All right? That is we'll see. It was good enough to win this game? But is it going to be good enough to move forward, beat Buffalo, or beat beat?
It was telling.
Baltimore?
You heard Andy even reference the rust. Listen, they had a right. It did affect this offense early. They missed some things, and that was kind of key. That the Texans should have been up 10 early in this game. Instead, they were trailing 10 somehow because of special teams, right? And again, that's how Kansas City gets.
By the way, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, this is a week where on shows like Get Up, we spent a lot of time talking about Jaden Daniels and a lot of time talking about Lamar versus Allen, and I have no apologies. Do you know that the last time Patrick Mahomes threw an interception was 63 days ago? It was November 17th. That's the point. He's still the standard. Someone is going to have to knock that guy off, and it is very hard. Sending the play to find a receiver, they do that better than anybody. Both have more than 20 attempts with a time to throw of at least 6 seconds this season. They're the only quarterbacks with 3 touchdowns in that situation. They each had 1 in wildcard wins last week. So let's dive a little more closely into that here at the Fillmore. So, Teddy, understanding that I'm basically asking you an impossible question.
You are.
How do you stop Josh Allen?
Okay, I'll try to answer this because I think, is it impossible? It is, but what you're going to have to be prepared to do defensively is do something you've never done before on a singular down. Let me show you a couple examples here because this is Josh Allen against the Ravens earlier in the season. I put a little clock on this because after 3.8 seconds, we finally got a little bit of pressure. We've got 3 guys that are attacking the pocket. Matabike, he's got him here on the sideline. Josh Allen is looking downfield, but after about 7.7 seconds, we do get a hit on Josh Allen. He gets thrown into the warming benches on the sideline, but you got to look at this throw. That's I don't know how he makes that when he gets hit, but that cornerback that made the tackle, that's Brandon Stevens, all right? And I want you to watch him up top because this is what I'm talking about and doing things that you've never been done before, and you're being asked to do the virtually impossible. How long is he traveling? You are telling this player that after 77.3 yards, you're going to have to make a tackle. I've never been told that as a defensive player that I got to travel 80 yards to make a tackle. All right, let's go against the Denver Broncos in the playoffs here. And Josh, he's patting the ball. He's pointing directions for guys to go to. He's waving to his girlfriend in the stands. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, he is just calm. He throws it in the air after 6.8 seconds. You don't want to rush him. You want to keep him. You get a little ball disruption, but where is this man throwing this ball to? And someone shows up out of nowhere. I mean, to make a great touchdown catch, P.J. Locke, defender for the Denver Broncos. Let's see what he does here because we talk about 70, 80 yards. I got the back cleared. I got the back covered. I know Josh is way over here, but I know I still have to cover this guy. I'm covering 50, 60, 53.8 yards to travel as a defender. Alex, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been asked to do things like that, but doing what you've never been done before. Look at defensive coordinator Vance Joseph. He doesn't know what to do, too. There's going to be times in this game, you fans out there, I mean, you're going to enjoy it, but we as defenders are going to hate it because that's basically what you have to
do. All right, so that's the AFC.
Do you feel my pain?
I can
Do you feel it? Okay,
thank you.
That was 4th and 1.
4th and 1.
I'm taking a step away. I can feel it so strongly. So that's the AFC game.
Yeah.
It's the battle of the quarterbacks. The battle of the sort of brilliant mind is what gives us some hope in the NFC game for those who are looking for an upset here. The McVay factor for the Rams in Philadelphia.
Yeah, part of the secret for this Rams team is finding and selecting the right players that fit their scheme perfectly. And one of those guys, Puka Nacua. Take a listen to Sean McVay before that draft and the things that he was looking for.
I think this guy would be really good for us, Les. I want a guy that is going to be where he's supposed to be, that'll stay grounded through the catch, aggressive hands, that will dig out support in the run game, and then that we can also give an extension of the run game.
Jeez, take the whole draft.
Take the whole draft. Well, we didn't need the whole draft. We only needed the 177th pick and a guy named Puka Nacua. Okay, first thing he said, aggressive hands. What's he talking about here? I mean, look at the contact through Quinyon Mitchell, playing through his back, grounded through the catch. He doesn't jump. He doesn't try to body catch this, which so many receivers do. I mean, this is unbelievable, right? A very specific trait. Take a look at it again. Again, over the middle. Look at this. Look at the tight window throw. Again, strong with catch through the ground, maintains control. A very specific thing. Okay, the second thing, support in the run game.
Right.
Okay, here we go. We motion Puka over. I mean, we're leading up through the C gap on the safety. Harrison Smith. Look at this contact. That's a fullback.
That's a lead block.
We're running lead right here behind our stud receiver. I can assure you, there is not another premier receiver in the NFL doing that. Look how noisy that was. Kyron Williams running up his back. Okay, and the third thing, extension of the run game. What are we doing, right? Kyron Williams out of the game on this one. Okay, let's hand it to Puka Nacua then. And I want to take a look at this one, Teddy. I mean, the defense defends this one so well. They didn't trick him or anything here. I mean, look at this. Look how many guys they have in pursuit. He stays patient. Grenard, sit down. He misses him, right? And again, here, they got him boxed in. What's he do? He just lowers his shoulder into Murphy. Look at the yards after contact here. I mean, that's 4+ tough yards on first down, staying ahead of the chains. And again, these are very specific traits that Sean McVay identified and wanted. I mean, we aren't talking about stretching the field vertically, high pointing a ball, things that we think of as receivers. I mean, again, very specific things that they identified that fit this scheme.
That's how you wind up losing as many good players as they have in the last few years and still being.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là video gì đây? Nhiều quá, không biết làm video gì. Đây, rất nhiều những sản phẩm mình đã chuẩn bị để tô màu để gửi tặng đến tất cả các bạn đây. Đấy, những sản phẩm chắc các bạn rất chi là quen thuộc, những đồ dùng, con vật đây, và đồ dùng đi theo mình là hộp xăm màu của mình đây. Đây là những cây màu đầy màu sắc này, rất chi là tuyệt vời nha. Các bạn nếu các bạn thấy hay, hãy cho mình like và đăng ký kênh nha.
Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục mากเลย